Good morning, guys, and welcome to Saturday's long run. As you can see, I actually got rained on. Yes, I did, believe it or not. These are my glasses I would normally be wearing when the sun comes out, and you can see I got water spots on them. So, I don't have liquid awesome on me today, I have liquid rain. Alright, my run was cut a little short for three reasons. The rain was just one of them. And I'll go into that in a little bit. Alright, let's see how we did. Well, 3 days, okay. It was a hard run, but my body was kind of into it. And I'm willing to bet that probably killed. There you go, see? 10.5 miles total. I planned on 12. 7:56 average mile. I probably killed VO2. Yeah, but we all know that's how it kind of goes, especially when you do hard, long runs. Alright. Anyhow, I'll go ahead and get my shower and get caught up with you guys here in a little bit. Hey guys, good morning and welcome to Saturday of week 12, my marathon training program, long run day. Well, as you saw when I got back, yes, I actually got stuck in the rain, and so that was a contributing factor to me bringing my run short. Another factor was, well, I went out, first of all, let me tell you that my legs are feeling better. Not 100%, but they felt good enough to go run the canal this morning instead of keeping my long run local, per se. Which is, for those who don't know, that's pretty much kind of just going up and down, some of the main streets by your house. So I was, if I run locally, I'm never more than maybe 2 miles from my house, maybe 3 tops. And I can sit there and switch it up enough and get some good distance in, no problem. But of course, at least the joy of running the canal is it's out and back, real simple. I'm not sitting there and worrying about streets and things like cars and things like that. But anyhow, the two reasons why I cut my run short. So I went out on the canal and I was going to run 12 miles a day because I hadn't really ran distance. I looked it up before I started shooting this. I really hadn't ran distance since like early July, so it's been over a month. And so today's run, believe it or not, is the longest thing I ran in I think about 4 or 5 weeks. So so clearly things are slowly coming back in and getting back on track. But I went out 6 because I was going to run 12, and then my 6th mile out, I hit some light sprinkles. I'm thinking, okay, maybe this will go away. Actually, when I left the house this morning, there was thunder and lightning just south of me, but we're having monsoons right now here in Phoenix, and anybody's kind of familiar with those, more times than not, one part of the valley could get like totally rained on and another part totally sunny. I mean, I've seen it to where 1 mile, a torrential downpour, next mile down the street, sun, it's never rained a drop. I mean, it's the way it happens. And so I was really kind of counting on the idea of, in a sense, outrunning the rain, or not running into it. But needless to say, during mile 6, the complete mile 6, I ran the sprinkles fine. That was my turnaround mile anyways. The sprinkles really didn't let up, and on top of that, I was starting to have a little GI distress, and if you're not familiar with that term, that's the nice technical way of saying I need to use the bathroom. And so that was another reason to cut, that was my only other reason to cut the run short. And so yeah, coming back, I ran into light rain, of course. As I got closer to my house, I would say maybe the last mile, it really picked up. It really picked up to where anybody who's ever ran in the rain, it's one thing to run in the rain and, maybe get some spots on you every now and then. It's another thing when you're running down the street and you're kind of like doing this, kind of like, dodging the rain so it doesn't beam you in the eye. That's what I found myself doing the last mile. So it definitely picked up to that degree. So that's the reason why I brought my running a little short. Other than that, legs are doing better. you'll see here in a moment, my body felt like running. And although it went against my idea, I just let it. I just let it. But I'll get into that in a moment. As always, we start out with our daily shot of wheatgrass. A shot a day keeps the doctor away, and the girls too. All right. All right. Now, back to my run. So, yeah, on the pain scale, my legs are maybe like on a 1. Still a little soreness, but nothing that I believe today's run added. So I'm still kind of just getting over what I've been dealing with, which is good. And although my stride had not opened up, my heart felt like running, and so my pace did. So let's take a look at what today it turned out to. So I ran 10.5 miles. You can see here by my little course map, out and back. No, I cut it short, and believe it or not, this only cuts off 1.5 miles my run. But so I spent 1 hour and 23 minutes out there. I averaged pace, including my warm up, was a 7:57, and I spent almost 1,200 calories doing that. Clearly, we know Garmin's wrong because, excuse me. Because when I got back, you saw that it was raining. It's definitely not sunny. And so, not quite certain where they got that, but maybe their weather outpost was sunny. Like I said, it could be a torrential downpour in one block, and the next block sunny. So maybe wherever this is at, it was sunny. Anyhow, for the most part, pace wasn't too bad. As far as why we're seeing this, I know there were some bridges per se. I mean, the canal tunnels underneath the roads, so that could have been it as I just dipped down. I'm not 100% certain there. Not too worried about it, but I mean, even when we blow this up, wow, when we blow this up, this looks pretty ugly. Yeah, it's almost as bad as that other one we made fun of was on Thursday. Yeah, so again, maybe it's the clouds. I don't know. Not gonna sweat it. You can see in the red here, heart rate just slowly kind of picked up over time. All right, that's fine. And then my pace was not as consistent. Again, do these color markers represent any tunnels, things I was running under? I don't know for certain. I didn't really worry about it. But for the most part, you're looking at about a 182 stride. Most part. Clearly, there's parts I was trying to dip below it, and for whatever reason, for small bits, there's parts I went above it. And coming down here, I just highlighted this as being mile 10, my last full mile, because you can see here, I had a half mile for my actual final. But yeah, going through my numbers here real quick, this is kind of what my body felt like doing. I personally was trying to hold an 8, but when my body felt like going faster, I wasn't going to worry about it too much. And these numbers within a couple seconds are just about a minute off marathon pace, or ideal marathon pace, which would be a 6:52, not 7:52. It would be 6:52 if you want to run a 3-hour marathon. And so about a minute off. Again, heart felt like going for it. Legs sure didn't seem to mind too much. And my average pace and my average moving pace are well within reason, usually about within 4 or 5 seconds from each other, if not spot on. This last 1.5 miles, good and spot on. Quite impressive, actually. Again, I think a lot of it is because I'm starting to get more rained on. I was more interested in just getting home. This last half mile, I just let my body do whatever it felt like. All rules were out the door because A, I was getting rained on, and B, I really had to use the bathroom. So looking at heart rate, yes, this last half mile probably doesn't help much because it was definitely faster, 30 seconds faster. But overall, through each mile, I progressively picked up heart rate. Actually, to be honest with you, it was pretty slow and steady up and through about mile 9. And then, of course, mile 10 just kind of picked it up a little bit more. And then, mile 10.5, again, no holds barred there, because even here, mile 10 was a 7:44. I'm getting rained on. I was totally kind of blowing the 7:50 stuff out of the water. And then, of course, mile 10 and a half, 7:30 pace, just because I wanted to get home. So that's kind of what things look like there. Going to my stats, yes, my training effect was 5.0. And while, yes, ideally we want to do long runs, long, slow, and steady, that's fine. Because I've really kind of tweaked my marathon training because of leg pains and injuries, I haven't been running as intently all week long as I normally would. And so had I been putting in good runs every day outside of the 3 days I do videos with you, if I ran 6 days this week, yeah, my legs would be a little bit more fatigued and my body would probably be pretty okay with doing 8 minutes. But because it hadn't been running, because I do need this to heal up and go away, today my body's like, hey, we're only doing 12, it's not going to kill us, and it's really no big deal, so let's run. Let's just get out there and run. And so, yes, my long run turned into a long, harder run, and I looked over a couple times at my VVO2 max setting that you see me talk about sometimes on my watch, the Velocity VO2 max, and whatever pace I was doing at that specific moment, yeah, I was, my VVO2 max was about 93%. So it was, pretty up there. I mean, for slightly sub 8. So that was a little high. But it was still a very effective workout. And that's the important part, because long runs ultimately will help you with the intervals, because you look at 1 mile, you're like, all I got to do is 1 mile. This sure beats 10 I did on Saturday. So your body's more able and more prepared to put out more energy. So that's a plus. And then you've got your leg turnover for the intervals. I'm doing the 1 mile intervals. I got the leg turnover, which now makes tempo run feel easy, because tempo run is clearly slower than, last week I was doing about a minute slower than intervals. And so by contrast, it makes that run feel easier. But even then, that run for a period of distance helps to build stamina and helps to build up your mitochondria. And your mitochondria are those little elements inside your cells that allow your cells to utilize energy and ATP more effectively. And to kind of go into this a little bit, I just got a couple articles here I'll post in the description section of today's video. If you don't know about mitochondria, this is the cellular adaptation that our bodies go through in order for us to make adaptation as we see it realistic. And so as we continue to train, be it lots of long runs or lots of or our short intense runs, those runs have a training effect, and that training effect affects our mitochondria. And real quick here, it comments here, and this is an article I found. Now the reason I share this is because they listed references, and for those who've gone to college, academia would not necessarily accept somebody's website had they not referenced their own material, unless of course they've done their own research. And in this given situation, it clearly illustrates or states that aerobic or endurance exercise proves to be more effective at continuously stimulating mitochondrial growth. Endurance training stimulated a 154% increase in mitochondria after the first workout. After 10 weeks of training, the number of mitochondria continued to increase at a slower rate of 105%. The study was only performed for 10 weeks, but the study observed that after the initial spike, the mitochondria continued to increase with endurance exercise, but at a slower rate. This research indicates that while both anaerobic and aerobic exercise contributes to muscle and mitochondrial formation, only aerobic exercise continuously increases the number of mitochondria present in the cells. Kind of nice to know. So that kind of supports what I was just sharing. And something I've personally noticed with myself, maybe like the last couple of years, it does seem that about every 8 or 9 weeks, a switch goes off or something, and maybe it's a VO2 max thing, I don't really know. But every 8 or 9 weeks, I notice, like significantly notice, like almost like overnight, that my runs just got easier. They just got easier. And then I know that for the next 9 weeks after that moment, then my runs will continue to be at that level, and then 9 weeks later, they'll get even easier. And I think this has to do with this whole mitochondria production thing. Now, we ask ourselves, well, what else can we do? I found another article which I'll post. This one is by Dr. Whitaker, and he states 3 ways to tune up your mitochondria and energy or enhance energy. One of them is eat less. We're thinking, great, I have no energy for a run. However, what if you ate the same as you do right now? Let's hypothetically, assuming you're not overindulging. Let's assume you have a moderate diet to begin with, and let's say whatever it is you eat is enough to maintain your current body weight. So now we decide to start doing all this marathon running or training, and we're doing, you're running 30, 40, 50 miles a week, whatever your thing is. Well, each one of those miles burns calories. And if you continue to eat at that same constant level that you were eating before you started training, now all this running has created a caloric deficit. And that caloric deficit would support this idea of eating less. Because in reality, you are eating less than the energy demands of your body. So we're not asking, in essence, I'm not suggesting to cut back your calories. You could do that, or simply increase how many calories you spend, which is adding more miles. So that's an interesting way of increasing mitochondria. Also, exercise more. Here he clearly states that the stress of physical exercise tunes up the existing mitochondria and activates biochemical pathways that stimulate the production of new ones. And of course, the third one is taking nutritional supplements. So including resveratrol, which is that little pill basically. Resveratrol is an element found in red wine, which is why they say red wine is good for you. And it's an element, part of that. So I've got this link on the webpage as well. On the description section of today's video. I'll post this as well, so that you can look through this more thoroughly and just get a better understanding as to what these two guys are talking about. And so that's all I've got for you guys today. Just trying to keep this short, trying to help you guys out. And while yes, my watch clearly stated I would need 3 days to recover, well, in 2 days I'll be back to business as usual. Because next week Monday, the way my legs are feeling now, yes, next week Monday I'll go back to running after my gym, and then little by little just kind of get back into the groove of things. And on Thursday's video, I've got some news for you. So I'll have some news for you then as far as what's going on. But before I forget and before we wrap this up, I want to share with you, as you guys know, a while back, every Saturday I will be wearing a different marathon shirt from one of my 9 prior marathons. And today I'm wearing probably one of my favorite marathons, not because I PR'd, because I didn't, because I'm from Chicago and I love running through my city, and through miles 7 through 9, that was one of the neighborhoods I grew up in. So I spent a couple of years in that area, and so it brings back fond memories. So here's the Chicago Marathon T-shirt. See that there? And so I take a lot of pride in that one. So want to make sure I get that to you, because I know last week I forgot and I had to tell you about it on Tuesday. So anyhow, that wraps up today's video. If you like today's video, definitely hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I put out a new running video, be it on intervals, tempo runs, or my long runs. And then of course, And then, of course, if you have any questions or comments, please post them below. I'll be happy to address them. So until then, now we have a better understanding as to not only how my long run went, but of course, the benefits of running volume as well as intensity. So it's all win-win, really is. So that's all I've got for you guys today. You guys have yourself a fantastic Saturday. We got clouds today, so maybe I'll get some more rain, maybe not. But you guys have yourself a fantastic weekend as well, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Until then, have a great day. Take care.